This is TransAfricaRadio.
The beautiful sounds of Thandi Ntuli there with a 201AA. Hey girl, she's in the studio. She's just arrived.
I know you've been wanting this, so congrats.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for making the time. I know you're also a busy lady.
I wish I was sleeping, but it's fine. It's fine. For you, anything?
Great. That's great to hear. Okay, so friend, I know that you are a friend of the station and that you've been here a few times, and as you can tell, there's been some reshuffling.
Yes.
What have you been up to? What's been going on?
Well, I've been working on my upcoming album mostly. Also doing a lot of collaborations, so it seems like everything I'm busy with, everyone is finishing off. So I've worked on Jazzwell's album, which should be coming out in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So LSG as well is dropping his album in August, which I've been busy with, and then my own stuff. So it's been busy on the back end of things.
Okay.
I'm not really doing much performances of my own that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And, it's like, mid-year now, it's June. Would you say that you're sort of halfway all through your resolutions? And the reason why I ask this is because I know you personally, and I know you to be quite ambitious and to be quite driven. Where are you on your sort of to-do list for 2017?
Well, I am about 6 months behind. Someone tweeted me the other day, and I was like, yo, these people, they remember, because someone tweeted me like, Thandi, you said we can expect the album in June. And I was like, yeah, June-ish. So I do feel like I'm a little bit behind, but not because I don't think music is something that you can rush, so I don't mind pushing a deadline for completing music.
Okay.
Other things, yes, maybe, but I don't mind so much in this area that I've been working in. So I'm a bit behind, but it's okay. I'm not really panicking about it.
Okay. And with the album, can we expect it 2017-ish or lean towards 2018-ish?
No, well, I mean, at this point, we are almost in 2018, but it is going to be out 2017.
2017.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So towards December 31st.
I'm looking at earlier even.
Is it?
Earlier, yeah.
Okay, perfect. And can you tell us, I mean, are you secretive about the new album, or can you divulge, here on Trans Africa?
Well, I mean, what is it that you would like to know?
Everything, honey. I know it's called Exiled.
It's called Exiled.
Yes.
A few different things that people can expect that I will be singing a bit more on it. I've got some songs that I wrote for vocals, I think from that influence that I have of just growing up in a home that loves singing.
Yeah.
That's coming through a little bit more in the music.
Okay.
I don't know. I never know how to analyze my own music.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I can help you. Maybe I can preempt.
Okay.
So we've been talking obviously privately about, the kind of things that you're writing about. What would you say the theme is for this particular album? I know it can never really be one theme.
Sure.
But if I'm, as a listener, if I'm talking about the offering, it was sort of, insight into who you are, saying this is my offering to the world.
Sure.
And, with all the expansive and amazing music that's out here, this is who Thandi Ntuli is. So now that we know who Thandi Ntuli is, we're in her house, we are listening to her music, what else is she going to tell us?
Well, I think on this album, the theme is really, I could say love.
Okay.
But in different ways. I've been just reflecting on personal relationships, reflecting on relationships in society, one's relationship with themselves, spiritual relationship. I think that's the underlying theme.
Okay.
And in many ways, the songs are about all those things at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking all things love.
All things love.
Yes.
My name is Thandi.
Yes, honey. Yes. And I wanted to ask you a specific question about writing. What would you say, how is your writing process? What would you say is sort of the way that you write and conceptualize
These
compositions?
are like those questions that make you wake up fast. I am awake. My process differs. Sometimes I write a song at one sitting, and other times it takes a little bit more digging and more, playing around with words. definitely it's a completely different skill set.
Okay.
I think it's really challenging to sort of have to express your thoughts. Very challenging, especially for a Virgo like myself. But it's an interesting thing because you get to sort of, like, what I like to do is that I like to say things but not have them be direct. Like, it could mean a lot of things.
Okay.
And in that way I just manage my Virgo-ness in the music. But the process is really just about playing around with what you're saying and figuring out how to say it. It's not just thinking about melody and the rest of the instrumentation, but it's also about the words and how they fit into the general mood.
Okay. Okay. Sounds interesting and quite hectic.
Well, no, maybe it's not that hectic.
Yeah. Okay. And what are you listening to right now? I like to always ask people what, like, right now, like today.
This morning I was listening to a house song.
Yes.
I was actually listening. I had a session last night with Sir LSG finishing off, and I was just listening to some of the stuff from there. So I'm really excited about that project too. So I think that's why I was listening to it.
Okay.
Been listening to a lot of different things in general though. Not been listening to too much jazz.
Okay. Any particular reason why?
No, just
you're just not in
stretching my ear.
Okay, cool.
I guess. And also because I've been working on different projects. Like, I work with the Rebirth of Cool, which is a hip hop and jazz project. So it's just lent itself to making me listen to different genres a little bit more. When I wrote The Offering, I was still in varsity. Most of the songs I wrote in varsity, and obviously we're listening to jazz 24/7.
Yeah, 365
all the time, every day, all day, you know?
Yeah.
Trying to finish the degree. So I think it's just a different space that I'm in, but it's not that, it's definitely not moving away from jazz necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice to know for all the jazz police out there. Hey.
We see you, Popo.
Hey. If you have any questions, please do tweet me on my personal Twitter handle, which is @sparkling_M. Alternatively, you can holler at us on @TransAfrica872. So bring those questions. We are also on WhatsApp on 07925444329. Again, that is 07925444329. She's going to be with us a little bit longer, so send through your questions, y'all. Here's some Tribe with King the Saint. Thandi Ntuli requester, and that was Tribal Dance. And before that, we played you Tribe with King the Saint. We have Thandi Ntuli in the building. Hey girl,
hey
still
girl.
good. I guess we should start talking about what's happening next week, Saturday, which is the International Jazz Extravaganza that's happening in Durban. How are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling excited. I've seen pictures from the past. It looks like it's an amazing stage and a great space to play, so I'm looking forward to it.
Great. And when did you actually get the call?
I got it actually around last year, August.
Okay.
I got asked if I'm... Yeah, and it was initially going to be in March, but I think they moved the date to June, yeah.
Okay, so exciting stuff.
Yeah.
And, I know you've probably started planning. Who are you taking down? I know you've been celebrating everyone that's in the band, but maybe you could talk about who it is that you're taking down to Durban with you and your relationship with that particular person.
Ooh, well, I'm going to be taking... On the rhythm section, there'll be Benjamin Jefta and Spelelo Mazbuka, as well as Keenan Arends. In terms of Benji and Keenan, I met them back in UCT days, and they were actually the first people to experience me trying out new music. And then Spelelo, I met him in Joburg along the journey of music. He's going to be on drums. He's just got a great chemistry with Benjamin.
Yeah.
And I've always loved just having him on the music because he just always brings the right feel and the right vibe with a little bit of lelo.
Yeah.
You know, and then I've got Mthunzi Mvubu, who's going to be playing alto saxophone, but as well as flute. So many people know him as an alto player, but I love his flute playing, and I've just been inspired to write a little bit more for flute as well. We've got Linda Skakane on the tenor saxophone, and
Great.
Justin Sassman's going to be playing trombone. So
Okay.
it's a bit of a different combination to what people may be used to, but should be nice.
Okay, cool. And then should we expect some new music from the new album? Will it be a bit of a mix from the offering as well?
Yes, it's definitely going to be a mix, but I think it will be a balanced mix.
Okay.
Because I always try and make sure that as much as I love to give the audience songs that they might know or like, I also like to keep the band excited about the music.
Yeah,
so it gets a bit tough playing all the old music all the time.
And keep yourself excited as well.
Yes.
I think,
Yeah.
I think it's also important that you have that
For sure.
that thing that, okay, I can't wait, to
play.
To
Yes,
play.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. As off air, we were chatting about a tweet that came through, asking if you are tired of people referring to you as a female piano player. What's your take on that?
I've just accepted it. I know where it comes from.
Where does it come from, do you think?
I think it just comes from people not used to seeing women playing at the piano. But I mean, I used to have this thing where I feel like it's my job to help people understand what that phrase actually insinuates or whatever. But I mean, I'm just like, okay, just leave it.
Yeah.
People mean well. It's not coming from a bad place, and I know it's never come from a bad place. It's just the imagery.
Yeah.
We don't see many females on instruments. No one refers to singers as female singers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's more female singers. Maybe when they see male singers, they'll say male singer. I don't know if it works in that sense.
Yeah.
But I always just felt that referring to someone as a good female pianist sort of limits them to what you're saying about them. It limits your compliment, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you say you play well for a female or whatever, it just sort of diminishes all the good in that statement to, for the females, for the 5 females who are playing piano in the country.
Yeah.
You play well.
You're doing good, girl.
know?
Yes.
And I always say that it may not sound as bad to someone who says it, but if you were to replace the word female with you play nicely for a black person, I think it would create a lot more outrage.
Yeah.
And so it's just making people aware of what their words mean.
Yeah.
Because I think we're not always aware of what we're saying and what it actually means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how sometimes we can be so well-meaning.
Yes.
But,
Yeah.
when it actually comes out the mouth into the other person's ear, it's not so great.
Yes.
And on the subject of that, what do you think, needs to be done for more females to sort of, I guess, not necessarily be exposed, but what can we do to create... What's the wording that I'm looking for? What can
Better representation.
Better representation. One, but is it the fact that females aren't wanting to play the instrument because they aren't exposed to it? Is there not enough female representation for the younger generation to say, hey, there is someone who plays the piano. I also want to play the piano.
Yes.
Because I don't think it's about there being lack of talent.
Yes, of course.
But why is it that women aren't necessarily wanting to play piano or
Well, I really I've thought about this a lot because I've been asked this question and I'm really not sure what it is. And I think the best way to see it is to maybe say, okay, for me the way I see it is that the industry is not really a very stable industry. So we have an industry that sort of is imbalanced in that the musicians who support acts are generally not protected by the laws or the standardized ways of the industry. There's no protection for someone who becomes an instrumentalist for a bigger artist. And what tends to happen is that the vocalists in the mainstream side, the vocalists get to be the bigger artists. So if you're an instrumentalist, it's sort of not something that is, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. It's not a stable position to have.
Yeah.
And I think by virtue of the way we're raised differently, men are not forced into things that are as stable in the way that women are.
Okay.
So I think, I don't know, I'm just speculating.
Yeah.
I don't think that, I mean, I know that there are many people who are known as singers, but they are actually instrumentalists as well. I mean, Zoe Mudikha is an example. Sia Makuzeni is an example. Nomfundo Xaluva is an example of that. So it's also on their part, it's also a choice.
Okay.
It's not that we are failing them.
Yeah.
know. So I don't know. That's my thoughts on it.
Okay. I know that you're making a big difference, and I know that there are a lot of young girls who are looking at you and wanting to pursue piano and wanting to pursue, jazz because of you. So thank you for that, and we honor your role, girl. You're doing great things. All the best for next week, the International Jazz Extravaganza that's happening in my hometown of Durban.
I love your hometown.
Hey, it's the best, right? Is it not the best?
It's just so great.
It's everything.
It's like cheap curry, warm weather.
Yes, beautiful girls also.
What can we ask for more than that?
Yeah, I know. If I had my way, I would move back. But so all the best for next week.
Thank you.
That is the International Jazz Extravaganza that's happening.
Facebook page is Thandi Ntuli Artist.
Okay.
So choose your poison.
No DMs, no things that are not related to music, please, brothers.
No DMs.
We see you out here in these streets.
No, hey, if I could tell you the pickup lines hidden in work, I'm just I feel like saying, my brother, I've heard that one. But sharp.
Guys, be creative. Be creative.
Can I have your number? I would love to contact you about work. I'm just why don't you talk to me now about the work? What work do you mean?
Ooh, I would say name and shame, but we're not that kind of radio station. Okay.
It's not people I know anyway. People come after shows and they're I want to contact you about work.
Yes. And then what do you say? It's so tough because, you half want to be professional, but you also want to half be actually...
I just always give people my email address because it's not to say that everyone who comes to you is lying and they just want to take you out on a date. But I just give my email address. I think that's a better space for me to work professionally.
To facilitate.
The phone number is more for the people that I'm acquainted to,
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you know everybody. Now you know. One more question that I wanted to pose to you. So it's June and you probably know that it's Youth Month. What in particular makes you excited to be a young person, today in 2017?
I think opportunity and I think opportunity is not something we think about as much because we can be sometimes bombarded about everything that's wrong about society. But if we just withdraw a little bit from everything that we're being told about ourselves, because we are generally being told negative things about ourselves as the youth, I think there's so much opportunity. I get excited when I see young Africans doing amazing things, despite all the crazy challenges that we have or obstacles we have in our way. I just get so inspired hearing about African youth that are just doing things that are impossible, basically.
Yeah.
And I think what we should remember as the youth is that we don't have to do things in the way that they were done before because the world is changing.
Yeah.
And so we don't have to feel this pressure that we have to do the things that the past generation is telling us we should be doing.
Yeah.
It's okay to sort of break out and try new things and just be ourselves and take heed of these opportunities that our parents never had.
So carve your own way.
Carve your own way.
Yeah.
And just don't always think that things are bad because they are bad, but not as bad as they may seem.
So much wisdom, so much wisdom. Oh, wise, Kelly.
Stick around.
Oh, my goodness.
I charge for consultations.
My gosh.
Joking.
Ungovernable. Thank you so much for coming in, friend.
Thank you.
And just like those amazing African people, you are also one of them who are doing amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so it is... exactly 10:56. That means we've got 4 minutes. Thank you so much to both my guests that came into the studio. Andre Damani, who came in to chat all things #Sphere Monk, a new jazz spot that has just opened up in the heart of Johannesburg. That is the Maboning precinct. So if you are around Johannesburg and you want to check out a new spot, please do go by the Maboning precinct. And this lovely lady here with a young MAC lipstick, Thandi Ntuli, leaving us with some wise words. Carve your own way and do your own thing. We wish you all the best of luck with next week, girl.
Thank you so much.
We know you're going to rock. And that sums up the Jazz Sessions for today.
This is TransAfrica Radio.